Welcome to the Father Knowts podcast, and I am your host, Warren W. Patten Jr., or you can call me Father Patten. Father Knowts is an informational style podcast created to give fathers a voice in their family structure. I encourage fathers to take back fatherhood and shake the trees of tradition to create a stronger family unit. We'll also delve into men's health, leadership, mentorship, and so much more. Okay, men, it's time to be a better father on purpose. Hello again, fathers. Father Patten is here with you again today. I hope you are doing well. I hope you are pouring in to your children. Yes, I'm going to get right into it. Pour in to your children. I have to say it one more time. Father, pour in to your children. Now, I'm going to take you a little bit to church, just a little bit now, because I don't want to preach, but I do want to teach, because that's what I do. So this episode is about pouring in to your children. And what you pour in to your children, hopefully, you will get it back in abundance. Get it back in abundance. Hopefully, what you pour in to your children, they will give it back to you. Not exactly how you gave it to them, but they will give it back to you in ways that will make your heart swell, in ways that will make you feel like I have done the right thing by my children. Now, specifically, with this podcast, the Father Knows podcast, I focus on sons because I have 5 sons. Yes, I do. Let's put it up here, right here. Yep. 5 sons. Yes, I do. And I have to pour in each one of them. And as a father, it's your role to specifically pour into your sons. I'm not saying neglect your daughter. Hey, but I'm not an expert on daughters. I do have sisters, though, so I think I'm an expert. But if you pour into your sons, they need that extra attention from the father so that they can have a voice. Remember, one of my phrases in the Father Knows podcast, make the choice to use your voice and also give your son a voice. Give him the opportunity to speak up and be heard. Now, back to it. As you can see on the screen, give and it will be given to you in good measure. And that comes from Luke 6:38. You really need to research that because it can come back to you and you need to be prepared to receive it. When it comes back to you, you need to be prepared to receive it. Now, there are so many different phrases out there that say the exact same thing that you see here. The more you give, even more comes back to you. What you reap what you sow. There are so many phrases. I don't want to go through all of them, but it's so important to remember that you should not hesitate. You should be intentional. You should be purposeful about pouring in to your children, specifically your son. This is food for the soul, both for you and for your children. It is needed nourishment for their souls. It is energy. When you can pour into your children, it is energy that they can use later on. They don't understand it initially when you're giving it to them. They don't understand it. But as they grow and mature, they start to understand. And then they call you up or send you a message and say, hey, Father, thank you. And I have some examples of that today. So remember what I said, be intentional and be purposeful when you pour in to your children. Now, I'm going to show you a few things on the screen, and these were text messages to me because my sons were grown and going out doing the things that they need to do, taking care of their affairs. But when they ran into a stumbling block, when they ran into a situation, when they ran into some people who had some things to say about why they are the way that they are, they had to send me a message. So these were text messages that they sent to me. Now, I retyped them and put them on the screen so that you can see them, and I'm going to show them and I'm going to read them because I wanted to make sure that I didn't miss anything. So here we're going to go with the first one. This is from Jonathan. All right. This is from my oldest, Jonathan. He said, I just want to thank you for being who you are and who you've brought us up to be and who you picked as a mother. I know it's random, but when other people ask me, how did I become who I am? I instantly look at myself and who I came from. And I'm just so glad I was brought up the way I was. And if there was an issue, y'all would have gotten the right help without question. So thank you, Jonathan. Can you receive that? This is what I'm talking about. This is nourishment, energy, and power. When it's not solicited, but they are faced with a situation where they have to really look in the mirror and say, thank you. Now, I want to hit a couple of things on here because this is a heavy one. Of course, this is my oldest, so very bright, very bright. All of them are bright, but he's the first coming of all of our sons. And this is one of the messages. Now, when he sent this, I could not tell you because it was a text message. And when I get these, I print them out. I save them and print them out. Yes, I do. Now, I didn't know I was going to be using them, but I saved them. Sometimes divine favor. Divine favor lets you know you need to hang on to this. So let's look at a couple. Let's break it down just a little bit. I love the part where he says, you've brought us up to be who you picked. No, let me go back. I just want to thank you for being who you are and who you've brought us up to be and who you picked as our mother. That's it. Who you picked as our mother. It was purposeful as well. Yes, when I met her, I had googly eyes, of course, but we had a lot of conversation about when to have children, why we wanted to have children, how many children we wanted to have, all purposeful. And that's the beauty of men picking their partner, picking the right person to have children with. That is key. That's why I had to bring that up because I did it on purpose. Yes, I did. We waited on purpose. We were married almost 5 years before we had our first child. Purposeful, intentional. That's right. So if more men took this advice, it would make for a better world, a better family unit, better situations for all children. For all children. Did you hear me? For all children. Now, let me break down one more thing because I got more to show you. Let's break down one more thing. He said, and if there was an issue, y'all would have gotten the right help without question. Now, we cannot solve all of families' problems, our sons' problems, but we can lead them in the right direction because that's what we are, parents. We can't fix everything. And I think they respect the fact that we will lead them. If they ask now, we are working very hard not to be hoverers, always calling and what you need, what you got, what can I do? We have to back up. And we are baby boomers now. We can fix it. We know. We talk about it all the time. We have experienced it and we can fix it. But we also have to allow them to fix their own problems. And when they run into an issue, we're here for them. Okay, that was Jonathan. I'm going to keep on moving because let's go to Brother Joshua, my second son. This is what he sent me. Thank you, Father Patten. We'll come back to that. The conversation has given me plenty to think about. I'll be sure to call you again very soon. Always a pleasure to speak openly with you. Now, this is the son who I thought was going to be president. And he still might. I don't know now. Be aware because he has that mind. But you see the first line? Thank you, Father Patten. This is one of those things that I started with them when they were younger. And I said, call me father, not daddy. I don't have anything, really against daddy, but daddy has so many messages, so many hidden messages. Father stands alone. And it comes from up above. I'm telling you, there's no sugarcoating when it comes to father. So I asked them to call me father. And of course, I called them son. Yes. Now, as they got older, I used their names. I always use their name. And we did not want, my wife and I did not want to use nicknames. No. I wanted them to own their names and believe in their names and listen for their name because we named them. So it's very important. And I usually call them for when they got to be in high school, I would call them Mr. Patten so that they could hear the formal name that we gave them, Mr. Patten, Mr. Jonathan Patten, Mr. Joshua Patten. And I love their middle names, but we won't get in that today. This is another thing that Joshua said. I'll be sure to call you again very soon. Always a pleasure to speak more openly with you. That's the one that kind of got me right in the heart. I tell you, because I want them to feel comfortable talking to me about anything without judgment. Anything without judgment. And that way, they can be grown men and not feel like father is still fathering me. No, I'm not your friend. I will be your guide, but I will also offer advice if needed because I know my sons are human. They're going to have their trials and tribulations, and as I did when I was coming up. So I have to understand that. And I think fathers should understand that without beating them up. All right, let's keep going. I got brother Jeremy. Jeremy, he said, hey, father. There it is again. I'm telling you, it just works. I wanted to let you know I appreciate you for shaping me and passing on your values to me. With time, it all came back full circle, and it gives me peace. Thank you, Father. Jeremy Patton. This was a text message from him. You serious? Heavy stuff. And he's number 4. He has a twin, and he's number 4, 6 minutes after his brother. But anyway, too much information. But I love it when he says, I appreciate you. Just that. I appreciate you. And then he says, for shaping me and passing on your values. I might have to get a tissue, people. That is powerful. That is intentional. And he starts to understand that because he's going through some things himself. And it's amazing the twists and turns that life offers us. And as parents, we experience that with our children. But we have to keep our place, got to stay in our place. And he said, with time, it all came back full circle and it gives me peace. That is powerful stuff. That is powerful stuff. You got to be intentional. You got to be purposeful. And if you are, it will come back to you. Let me put it back up there again. I just want you to see it. Give and it will be given to you in good measure. You got to receive it. You got to receive it. Now I got one more. I'm getting all emotional, but I got to hold on. I got to hold on. I got to make it through this. Here's another one. This is from our youngest son, Jacob. Say good morning and thank you, Father. Father, just had an athletic orientation, and we talked about what you called me earlier about. They own me and my social media, so I appreciate you talking with me about it first. Now, young Jacob had a job where he was going to be a coach, assistant coach for a university. And I knew he was active on social media. Nothing really bad, but just the same, I wanted him to be aware that many jobs follow their employees on social media, and they can make decisions on whether they want to keep you as an employee. So I wanted to make sure he was aware of that. And he has some alliances with some of the other schools that he attended. And he still was, tied to them. So I said, Jacob, be very careful. Don't show too much love to your alma mater while you're at another school. He said, but Father, I have a degree from there. This is so true, son. But where you're working now, they don't care. They want you to be all in about a place you're working at now, not the past. They don't care about your past. They care about your past and that you have experience, but your loyalty must shift. And at first he didn't understand it, but then all of a sudden that meeting happened, the light bulb went off and he's like, wow, my father told me, prepared me, got me into the mindset to be prepared, and versus them telling him and then him coming to me, Father, they won't let me do it. Nope, none of that. Talk about it ahead of time. Now let's break down a couple of things he said. I appreciate you talking with me about this first. First, that's the key. I have the experience, so I shared it with him because I also worked in a company and social media was pretty new toward the end of my career, but I knew it was very important and I knew they were watching me because I was doing some things in my personal time that were very important for me. I'm not sure if they liked it, but that's okay because I am who I am. Authenticity is my key. I love being and doing what I love to do. But when I get to work, I'm all in. But I had to understand social media can be a factor. So I go back again to that quote: give and it will be given to you in good measure. Father, please take my advice. And if someone is watching this, share it with a father who may learn a few lessons on how to pour in to your children. Pour in to your children. Give, and it will be given to you in good measure. Be intentional, be purposeful. Father Patten, see you in the next episode. Thanks for joining the Father Knowts podcast. Please like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel at Warren W. Patten Jr. That's Patten Jr. Follow our socials on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Father, make the choice to use your voice